DACA is going to be put back into the Ninth Circuit. You know, we tried to get it moved quickly because we'd like to help DACA. I think everybody in this room wants to help with DACA. But the Supreme Court just ruled that it has to go through the normal channel, so it's going back in.
President Trump weighing in on that Supreme Court decision today not to step into the DACA debate. The high court refusing to review the administration's appeal to a previous ruling that blocked it from ending the DACA program. Mercedes Schlapp, assistant to the president and White House senior advisor, joins me now from the White House lawn. Mercedes, good to see you tonight. So
great to see you.
What happens now on this?
Well, clearly, the administration is focused on the legislative solution piece of not only DACA, but as well as securing the border, as well as ending chain migration and ending the diversity lottery visa. As we know, the president proposed a very generous compromise and wants to have bipartisan support on this issue. When you look at it from the fact that the majority of Americans support the 4 pillars of the president, and you find that a majority of Americans also believe that the Democrats are not being sincere in the pursuit of a DACA fix and making it a political issue. I mean, it's just so important to realize that this legislative solution is needed to provide the permanent fix for DACA, in addition to securing the border so this doesn't happen again.
Well, I know the president has said he doesn't think that Democrats are serious about actually helping the Dreamers. Dick Durbin this morning was espousing some pretty frightening numbers, and I'd like you to listen to this and respond to it, Mercedes.
1,000 of these young people a day will be subject to deportation, will be unable to continue to legally work in America. They include 900 of them who have volunteered to serve in our military, risk their lives for our country. They will lose their status and be forced out of the military. 20,000 of them are teachers across America.
So the numbers that we saw was 800 military, about 1,000, I believe, teachers, but whatever. Will those people, you know, does the White House want to have a deal where those people, DACA recipients who are in the military, would they be asked to leave the country, Mercedes?
Well, I mean, first of all, Senator Durbin's comments are outrageous. As we know, the president is proposing a very generous compromise. You're talking about 1.8 million DACA recipients that would then lead to a pathway to citizenship. He wants a permanent fix. The Democrats need to come to the table and need to provide a solution as opposed to playing politics with the lives of these DACA recipients. With that being said, the Democrats have to decide if they're going to be protecting the criminal alien or are they going to be protecting the American people. And that is why it is crucial at this moment for the Democrats to come on board with this reasonable, common sense immigration reform package that the president has laid out, which the vast majority of Americans agree with. Yeah. They want this to have this solution, but yet the Democrats continue to play with this political football and at the same time using the DACA recipients as political pawns.
So would the president, you know, it was a fascinating meeting last time they all got around the table in there. Would the president initiate another one of those to have Dick Durbin sit next to him again and, you know, sort of hold everybody's feet to the fire on both sides on this?
Well, there's no question there's been ongoing discussions on the immigration framework. At this point, we'll see what the House does in terms of pushing forward immigration legislation. We were obviously disappointed that the Grassley bill did not pass. That contained the 4 pillars of the president immigration framework. So what we want is we want Congress to act. We know that DACA is unlawful. It requires a legislative fix. The president has provided a permanent solution, as well as making sure that we give our ICE agents and we give our Border Patrol agents the resources and authority they need to ensure that we can stop the influx of drugs, the influx of illegal immigrants, the influx of MS-13 gang members who are killing Americans. And that is what we want to push for.
All right. Mercedes Schlapp, thank you, Mercedes. Good to see you tonight.
Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Have a good night.